Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So finally got my arc state out of the garage. Leanne's grandma was nice enough to let me store that there for the winter. That means more space for Camaro activities, so I could actually work around my garage without tripping over everything with another car in the way, and I don't have to worry about scratching that car. So goals for these next 2 days: I want to get everything cleaned up underneath the underside of the Camaro. I am gonna drop the rear differential. I just figured let's just do it all now, get the whole thing ground out underneath and painted with Eastwood. The rust encapsulator I'm going to be using again. Also probably take out this Grille. Hopefully I don't have to take off the front bumper, but looks like I might have to remove this front grille. And then I could actually paint inside the core support area too for the radiator support, prepping in advance for the next week after this one. I have to take off some of the or actually all the brake and fuel lines, so I just get a nice clean sweep in there with my gun when I'm painting the rust encapsulator on. I don't want to have any like weird, if someone removes the lines down the road or something, there's going to be spots that I missed in painting, and that's just not how I do things. So I just want to remove everything all at one time, just leave the parking brake cable connected, and everything else is coming out. So let's get started on that, and then take you guys along for the journey this week. Appreciate you guys checking in. Before I forget, I got my tires finally mounted on the car and back and everything. They balanced out good, he said. So if you remember, the issue was there's two of the wheels that were bent. He said everything sealed properly and balanced out correctly. So I went with the white out, and I also had all these new trim rings I ordered. I put those on, and then I had the center cap, and I also have, of course, new chrome acorn lug nuts as well. Definitely want to get this all coated underneath here. I'll be using that same Eastwood rust encapsulator, but of course I have to go under here with a wire brush and then clean all this up down here before I paint this on. So it's going to be a super messy job, pretty confined spaces, but everything, once I knock the initial rust off, it's going to look nice. Probably not going to film that because I just can't. All you'll see is my legs underneath there sticking out, so it's not going to be anything too exciting. I'll give you guys an update. Just be using a wire wheel underneath there. That's all you really need, and then cleaning it really well with some rubbing alcohol, and then it should be ready to paint that Eastwood rust encapsulator. Unless I don't like the color, I'm not going to be doing anything else with coating it again. Over top of that, I'm not going to put a top coat on this one unless, it doesn't look right. Gonna remove all these brackets so I can get these in the sandblaster. Goes all the way down there. And then I gotta figure out how to take this grill out. Hopefully I don't have to remove the bumper because the bumper is locked on there, rusted on solid with the bolts. right, all that work was to get the grill off, and now I can get this in here really nicely for the core support. I found a grill that comes with the outside chrome molding, so instead of having this all bubbled up and flaking off, I'm just going to replace this whole thing. And it also has some overspray. I don't know if you can see that or not. Some purple overspray, root beer overspray on from repainting this car when it was repainted back in the day. A couple of you guys were asking about the Z28 badge and how it was attached. I'm guessing for just originality, maybe. So here's how it is attached and how it looks on the back side. Looks pretty factory to me. I don't know really what you guys were looking for, but for those of you that wondered, there it is. So I'll be cleaning that up and sandblasting the back of that and reattaching it to the new grill. So now I can clean this up right there and finally get into the core support area without taking anything off. We got both sides of the lines out. The one side right here is the driver's side brake lines, and I think it's some sort of evap hose for the gas tank. And this other side is all fuel lines, so I'm going to replace these lines. And the reason why I took these off, well, one, I didn't want to chance anything with the brakes or whatever being so old on there, so I'm replacing all the brakes, and I want to replace the lines as well, just because if one line fails, then you're kind of screwed. So here's what it's looking like so far. Probably don't really remember what it looked like before, but everything's turning out really nice. Here's what it looked like before. All that. Just like that thick rust. So these lines used to run lengthwise of this side rail right here. So new update. I couldn't get around to not drilling into this perfect floor, but I just got a access hole now. If you can see down there, let me see. So right down there you can see the culprit. I have to do that to the other side, and we can finally drop the rear diff out with all the springs and everything as one unit. I'll clean all this up in here, squirt some of that internal frame rail coating in this, and then I'll just put a plug in this, so if you ever have to access it, it'll have an access hole like it should have it from the factory. I'm not worried about the structural integrity. I just went through one little layer there, so should be fine. Shouldn't have affected much. Finally got everything all ground down. I cleaned out the garage, swept it up, blew it out. So now I just have to do a final wipe down with some lacquer thinner, and then I'll hit it with some probably rubbing alcohol over top of that too. And then this thing's gonna be getting painted, whether it likes it or not. And then I need to do the engine bay too, which that's gonna be next weekend. But this whole underneath of the car is getting painted today. So let's get started now. Once again, I'm using the rust encapsulator again. This is not going to be top coated as of right now. I don't think I'm going to top coat this. So this is just going straight on underneath and not mixing it with anything else. Right out of the can, and using my same gun as I did last time. It's going to be really awkward trying to get in all the grooves and everything, but we'll get through it. And hopefully I have enough paint. I have maybe 60% left, a little bit over half. Covers really well, so I think I just need one coat just like last time when I did the subframe, but we'll see how it goes. Well guys, we ran out of paint, so didn't go very far when you're underneath here trying to use the gun and everything, but so far it's coming out awesome. Alright guys, I got some more of the rust encapsulator, got 3 more quarts this time, so I don't think I'm going to run out, but just to play it safe. I had to rescuff the bottom because it was within or outside of that 36-hour recoat window. I just used the red Scotch Brite pad. I'm going to put another coat on the back where I didn't get a full coverage from last time, and then finish the full underneath. It's going to be about 70 degrees out, so it's perfect for painting. So let's get started, and I'll show you the results after I'm done.